Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here, and welcome back to the channel. Y'all already know why we're here. We're here to talk more about Miss Robin Dixon, okay? We are here to talk about Robin, but more so here to talk about the alleged mistress, okay? Because the alleged mistress to Juan Dixon, or whatever she was, okay, to Juan Dixon, she did an interview with Giorgio Says, okay? Shout out to Giorgio Says over on TikTok and YouTube, okay? Shout out to him. He did an interview with this mistress. He also was the person that ended up breaking the story, letting us know about everything that was going on. Okay. So not only did he let us know, and it's been in a whirlwind ever since, he also got a chance to do an interview with this mistress. And we are going to go ahead and check out what it all entailed. All right. So let's see what the mistress had to say. Now, keep in mind, this mistress actually brought us this information after Robin did her Watch What Happens Live sit down with Andy Cohen. All right. So I want to see what she's going to say because once the mistress came out, Robin felt the need to not only confirm but also debunk some of the things that the mistress had to say. So now that Robin has spoken her piece, here it is, the mistress is coming out to speak her piece. So now it does make me wonder, when I watch What Happens Live, it makes me wonder, what are we looking forward to with this one-on-one sit down with Andy and Robin? Is Andy going to listen to this interview and likely ask Robin more questions based on this? I don't know what else it is to really talk to her about when she's repeating the same thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and just check out what this interview gave to us, okay?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so thank you for doing this. I know we had to move pretty quickly, but like I said, I think we should stick to, for right now, let's stick to what Robin has discussed on Patreon and what she discussed on Watch What Happens Live, which is pretty much the same bit. So let's start with Robin saying, which you already said, you reached out to Juan. So that is correct, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct.
So you reached out to Juan first, and then he obviously entertained the conversation as
I feel like the first question that should have been asked is, you reached out to Juan for what? If you're followed by, are you a fan of Robin and Giselle? Because if you are, you reached out to Juan for what? Were you seeking a moment? Were you looking for a moment? Like, you knew he was married or likely engaged, whatever that, well, I won't say married. It seemed like they've been married because they've been together, even after the divorce. But you knew that he had a fiance. What made you reach out to him? What was your reasoning? What did you expect to gain from interacting with this man whose page has likely been private for the most part? So I'm just wondering, girl.
we saw in the DMs that you put forward. And from what Robin said on Patreon was that Juan was not interested, but mainly was just being nice. And so that you had reached out to him, that you had told him that you were coming to Maryland because you were dating a Ravens football player or something like that. Can you talk about that? Because that didn't add up from what you had said to me initially.
Yeah, I have no idea where that story came from. It's very confusing. I had no reason to go to Maryland other than to see Juan.
Oh, I
And
believe it.
how long were you guys talking before you came to Maryland the first time?
It was a good year. I want to say at least a year because there was restrictions with COVID. That is true, and there was no crossing the border at the time.
Okay, so that part is true. There was strict. I do recall that. So, but
Yes.
once the restrictions were lifted, that's when you made the plan to come. But was it that you offered, or was he the one that said, "Come visit me"?
It was both. It was definitely both of us. We both wanted to meet each other, and we both were just waiting for the restrictions to be lifted. It was always a plan. It was always.
Wow. Not you have been talking to this lady husband for a whole year. I feel like Robin has been engaged for probably a whole year, maybe 2 years. I don't know. But that is just crazy to me. You've been talking to this man this whole time. Now, I truly believe her when she says that she came to Maryland with no other reason but to see Juan. Now, my question is, how did you get Juan there to sign off on whatever and book the hotel? How did that happen? Actually, let's go back. Who paid for your flight? Was that something Juan paid for? And can you produce the receipt for that? Right? Then I would want to know, how did you get Juan to come to the hotel? What was that conversation like for him to even come there? I just really believe her when she says that she had no other reason to come there but to see him. It only makes sense. And it's the fact that he created this whole elaborate story, which has me kind of chuckling because Robin is just so headstrong on just writing for whatever it is he told her instead of considering the possibility that this man has had a parent lie. Now, he could have kept it a book, and Robin and him could have made this story up themselves, allegedly. I don't know. As far as, oh, well, she was dating a Baltimore Raven and he only went up there to put his name down because he felt bad for her and all of that. Like, Robin, you're not making no sense. I don't know. Like this, and I told y'all in plenty of videos where I'm like, how you going to say that your man is a man that seeks attention and always needs attention, but then want to turn around and say that he felt bad for her? Like, something's not adding up. This the same man that needed attention and went down to a hotel. Make it make sense.
It's in the works.
And so you guys didn't just talk via texting or DMs, right? Like, did you guys ever talk on the phone or FaceTime?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, all the time.
All the
So
time.
when Robin says that, let's jump to when you're in Maryland. So you get to Maryland. What was the plan? You got to Maryland and then what?
I was just going to meet him at the hotel and just get settled in, I guess.
Okay.
You guess.
And so the part where Robin suggests that you called Juan when I guess she said that, well, firstly, she said that your wallet was stolen in the casino. And then on Watch What Happens Live, she said that you lost your wallet. So this is what prompted you to call Juan. And then Juan, being the good Samaritan, drove to the hotel to put his card down and then left. Can you clarify that?
Please clarify.
I don't know what to say to that because it's just outrageous.
You should know what to say to that. If they're lying, then give us the facts. That's not making sense. It makes me question your credibility just a little bit. Ma'am. Now, I definitely believe some things, but what do you mean? I can't speak to that because that just doesn't not make it make sense for us then. Tell us how it went down, play by play. Give us more details.
Like, it doesn't make sense, you mean?
It just
Why
doesn't
does
make
it not
sense,
make sense?
any of it. So
you and Juan did hang out when you were here.
correct.
Okay. So it wasn't he just came and put the card down and left. And was that part of his story then, the part about the casino? Because you didn't say anything about that to me.
Like I said, this is the first time I'm kind of hearing these things.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I can't say anything because I have never heard of these stories before.
Do you feel like
you can say something? Okay, see, now this Mistress, you about to girl, okay? You're not making sense now. I do not care if somebody came to me with an elaborate story. If I was there, we hung out, I know what happened, point A to Z. I have no problem debunking what another person is saying happened if they are lying. You, ma'am, are not making sense at this moment. And I hate to say it, it makes me think, is there any truth to some of the stuff Miss Robin has said? Ma'am, you're not making sense.
Juan gave her the story that she has regurgitated to all of us?
Definitely.
Okay. And then did
But
Juan
you're
ever
not telling us nothing. Girl, let me press.
tell you that there was any sort of real relationship with Robin when you guys started talking, or was that clear to you when you guys were talking? Like, did you know that they were in a like relationship, or did it?
Very clear that the relationship was for TV. Like it was for the fans. It was a paycheck.
It couldn't have been for the fans because we didn't get that much of a damn. Like, girl, it couldn't have been for us. So if he told you that, girl, he lied. Either that or you lying right now. But they know we don't give a damn about them for real. You know? So I'm just like, what do you mean it's for the fans? We didn't even believe they was going to get married. So what is for us? They've been together anyway. Hell, I would call them husband and wife anyway because they stayed together for so long. So what are they doing for us? It's not making sense.
And that was just their obligation, right? And they needed to do what they needed to do pretty much for TV. And he made it clear that he does have that respect for Robin, but it was not a real relationship. It was just not like a real loving relationship. It was just more of co-parenting and, kind of best buddies.
So then, with that, it's clear that he didn't.
Giorgio, I want you to ask her so bad, did she watch the show? And did she say that she was fans of Giselle and Robin for her to even DM Giselle? One, confirmed that she did. Is she a fan? And did she also DM Giselle? Because you couldn't possibly believe what he was saying, talking about some co-parenting or whatever else she said. Like, girl, they was engaged.
Loving relationship. It was just more of co-parenting and, kind of best buddies.
Co-parenting and best buddies. That don't make no damn sense when you sat up here and saw this man engaged to this woman. Now, whether we wanted to believe the proposal was real or not, child, it don't matter. You knew what the hell was going on. So now I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I mean, he definitely, I'm sure, moved with some ill intentions. However, I don't know about Miss Ma'am. I don't know about Miss Mistress Ma'am. I don't know about her.
So then, with that, it's clear that he didn't want to tell her the real story for whatever reason, even though you would think that they would be fine with it if it's just for TV. But now, one last thing. She had also mentioned that you sent Juan a request via Zelle or something for $4,000, basically, I guess, insinuating that you were asking for the money in order to not go to the blogs or something to that. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, it's a little outrageous. And I wish she would have put more thought into her statement because I am in Canada. I am a Canadian citizen. And in 2023, we don't have Zelle. We don't accept Zelle. I can't request Zelle. I don't have access to that on my phone. There's other means of sending money for Canadians, and Zelle just is not an option, and everybody knows that. So
did I hear her deny that she even asked for the 4,000? Let me go back because I don't think I heard her deny requesting the 4,000. It seems like she's more so denying the one word or institution that Robin mentioned for getting money, like or sending money or requesting.
To that on my phone. There's other means of thought.
Something to that. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, it's a little outrageous. And I wish she would have put more thought into her statement because I am in Canada. I am a Canadian citizen. And
so she completely deflected and avoided answering the question about the 4,000. Did you request it or did you not? You over here talking about some Zelle, girl. I'm trying to find out what really going on. Like, girl, it's giving lackluster. Like, you ain't giving us no information for real.
And in 2023, we don't have Zelle. We don't accept Zelle. I can't request Zelle. I don't have access to that on my phone. there's other means of sending money for Canadians, and Zelle just is not an option, and everybody knows that. So I just think it's once again outrageous.
And that part I think is interesting because I didn't realize that Zelle wasn't available in Canada, but from what you're saying, it's never been available. So so you did not request $4,000
Okay,
from
confirm
Juan.
that. Yes, no.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
did
so
not
she's
happen.
saying no.
Okay. And then so the end of all this where you stop talking to Juan, that is when you're referring to the friend coming to the door
Right.
and exposing himself. But Robbins claimed that the friend was there in lieu of Juan taking
And
you
that
around.
he crossed the line with you.
And so the friend was there merely to just kind of take you where you wanted to go, which I think she said you wanted to go to a couple of places that also didn't really make sense. Like, why would you come all the way to Maryland just to go to Western Union? But
Right.
so that's not true. You did not hang out with a friend at all outside of that inappropriate behavior that he displayed.
No, we did not hang out. I never met him in my life. And I had no pre-existing knowledge that he was coming to the hotel to do what he did.
And then,
What
so
the
once you
hell?
left, that was the very inappropriate behavior that he displayed.
No, we did not hang out. I never met him in my life. And I had no pre-existing knowledge that he was coming to the hotel to do what he did.
And then, so once you left, that was the very last, like you were done with it. Like whether or not you said it to him in your mind, were you done with this whole situation once that happened?
A little bit violated and obviously naive a little bit as well, but into that kind of thing, I don't know. I guess everybody has their own things that they like, but I thought talking with him for a whole year, I somewhat did get to know him, and I didn't see that coming at the end at all.
No, and it sounds pretty shocking. I mean, that would be pretty scary, I think, for anybody. But so all in all, you and Juan absolutely did hang out, and I don't want to go into detail, but would you say that things went
in detail
further than just hanging out? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not here to like hurt Robin.
Sure.
I was never trying to hurt Robin.
Down.
And like I said, I'm not a malicious person like that. So I'm not going to get into all those details. But
okay.
He didn't just get me a hotel room to say goodbye.
Right. Well,
we know that.
You know what?
But it's killing me softly that you would say that you're not here to hurt Robin, but you sent Robin the tea in the beginning. You're not here to and see, I feel like you may not be here to hurt Robin, but more so to hurt Juan. But whatever intent you saying that you don't have, you definitely have, in my personal opinion, because you sat up there and talked to that lady man for a whole year, and he's very wrong in this, but we talking about you a little bit. You talked to this man for a whole year, and after you were not getting what it is you were seeking to get from him, the people is sending around screenshots saying that you did request a good $4,000. And it was canceled. Looks like it was given PayPal that you reached out on. You know what I'm saying? But it seems like once you weren't getting what you wanted in return, that's when you decided to reach out to him, to the woman, his girl, and expose him, which is what a lot of women do. They be okay sneaking behind the back and doing this and doing that and da-da-da-da-la-la. Soon as they don't get what it is they want, then they decide that they finna try and air the situation out or air the person out or whatever like that. And then now you don't went this far to give information to Giorgio that you knew Giorgio was going to sit up here and leak out to everybody. Okay. And we do appreciate it. Understand. Then you want to turn around so much so to get on a call with him, give up some tea, but want to be very vague, and then want to turn around and say that you're not really here to hurt Robin and you don't want to really go into detail and this and that. You might as well, because you done sat up here and gave us receipts. last week or whatever week. You done gave us receipts. You done gave us details about this, and you done gave us details about that. This is what he said in the DMs. This is what I said in the DMs. And then now all of a sudden you want to pull back and hold on to some tea. You want to pull back and hold on. Now, granted, it is your information, but why bring it to the front anyway? Why bring it to the front anyway if you're not going to go all the way there with it? It's not going to change nobody's perspective about you. Might as well clear it up. Tell me something, I'm not here to really hurt Robin and this, that, and the other. And and girl, you could have saved that heartbreak song. I can't.
I want to clarify this for everyone as well. I wholeheartedly believe that you had the most integrity with dealing with this. Mm-hmm. So I want to send my hats off to you for that, because this is not an easy situation, to have to talk about, and then for it to go public, and then hear someone claim rebuttals that are lies. So I appreciate you sticking through it, and we're gonna leave it. I think we'll leave it here. Because I think we just wanted to kind of give rebuttals to what Robin said Juan told her. I don't want to say Robin's story, because this is not her story. It's something clearly Juan told her, and she's going with it. So we're going to leave it here for right now. But is there anything that you want to say to end this call? Or is there anything you want to say to Robin or Juan?
Really, I think they should somewhat just admit what happened and leave it at that. That's pretty much, I would appreciate that. I'm not a fan of the fake stories and this narrative of things that didn't happen. I don't really understand why she needs to add so many other things in. It'd be cool if they could just admit it, leave it where it's at, and kind of move on. Be real, speak your truth.
I agree with that.
Don't add lies in with that. Like, literally speak your truth. That's what they're both paid to do, right? On TV.
He ain't paid a damn thing.
So
that's what Andy said.
He ain't paid it. Not
Andy
her.
said.
I mean, not him.
So, okay then. Well, I really appreciate your time. As I've mentioned, I will continue to keep you anonymous, so I will omit any use of your name. And we will speak offline.
I just want to actually just thank you. And if you could just continue to guide me or support me, I would just greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I don't know how I feel about this, y'all. Granted, I think what the lady said, a lot of it was definitely true. Okay, I think that more happened than just booking a hotel. I do believe that they've conversed for over a year or however long before it was time for them to actually link up. If they were waiting for restrictions and things, that mean that they had been in communication the entire pandemic, which would also make sense as to why Robin was feeling so low, lazy, unattractive in Juan's words and all of that, right? He was out here doing something he had no business or whatever the case. So, I mean, I think a lot of what she, has put out there is facts. I agree. Some things just was not making sense because it didn't seem like she wanted to clear up whatever lies Robin was spewing. The only thing she wanted to say was that's not true. And I just don't think, I know a lot of y'all may not like Robin or whatever the case is, but even if this is a mistress, like I can't accept just that. Okay, I'm forced to accept it, but I would like to not accept it, because if the shoe was on the other foot and this was Robin and we brought some things to her door and Robin just debunked it and said that's not true, y'all are going to want a further explanation. You're going to want more information. Like, well, clear it up then. Like, then what? If that's not true, then what? And she didn't really give us the then what. And when the question came down to the 4,000, initially she just led with, oh, I don't have Zelle. And then she followed up saying that she never, sent the money. I don't know which ones never requested it. I don't know which one's which, but I do agree with keep it a buck. You ain't got to spend the additional lies. But again, Robin's only speaking on what Juan told her, or did he? Okay. So that's all she can do is really speak to what he said. I just feel like, as I've said in a previous video, it would be nice if he didn't have her out here dying on this stick by herself, taking this L. He should come to the front too, because so oftentimes it's always the two ladies that's combating, but the man that caused a lot of this is nowhere to be found. And I don't like the fact that he's taking a back seat. Robin and talked about it on the podcast. She's talked about it on Watch What Happens Live. What are we looking forward to after the reunion? Is Juan coming? Is Juan coming? Of course not. Let us pray that he is, okay? That's what's going to make the one-on-one sit down or two-on-one sit down much better. All right? But I want to hear you all's thoughts, okay? Are you believing everything the mistress said? Were there some things that came up that caused you to question? Would you have wished that she would have gave us additional details, since she had been exposing a lot already, and then now all of a sudden she wants to stop it here? So I want you guys to go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about this situation. And yeah, that's all I got, honey. Shout out to Giorgio Says for getting the bit that he did get, that he could get out of her. So we do appreciate that. But yeah, that's all that I have. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, or follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.